Right, people. I hardly ever get involved in tax compliance, certainly not individual tax compliance. But I do from time to time make exceptions. When I say tax compliance, I mean filling in tax forms and submitting tax returns, like individual tax returns and so on. But I do make exceptions where we do get involved, mostly when one of my article clerks needs the exposure for their logbooks, because they need to do some compliance, or where it's a unique taxpayer with unique circumstances, challenging circumstances. Like, for example, this thing that I want to discuss now, which is kind of a double whammy because one of the consultants did need the exposure for their logbooks, and it was a fascinating, interesting client. The client was working offshore, and had share incentive schemes that share vested, and there was periods in and outside of the country, and there was foreign taxes suffered, and there was foreign severance benefits, and all sorts of interesting things, which made it a challenge sufficient enough for me to get slightly excited about compliance, right? So we get involved in the provisional tax calculation for this particular individual after having consulted on the issues. So after giving the tax view, so fine, given the view expressed, we need to now do the provisional tax. We do the provisional tax, we do the directive thing on the foreign severance, etc., and everything goes in fine, right? And naturally comes filing the tax return, and the client wants us to file the tax return, which I'm happy to do because I did look at the provisional, file the tax return, everything goes in fine, right? Numbers exactly down to the T as we expected, assessment raised, perfect. Right, what is important to me is this verification letter that came out. Now, like I said, I don't deal with compliance often, right? But because mostly we deal with disputes and VDPs and those sorts of things. And because I deal with those things, that's why what is listed here as one of the documents that SARS wants is fascinating to me, because it shows to me that there's some potentially new algorithms and risk engines that they're running in the background, which is great. It's just the first time I've seen it at a compliance level. And grant you, I don't do a lot of compliance, but I called someone and asked them, "Is this stock standard, or is this new?" And they also said that this is new, right? So one of the things that SARS is now asking for, or depending, of course, on the circumstances, at a verification level, they're already saying they want bank statements or reasons for under-declaration of income. This is not a standard verification letter. Now, I've dealt with many disputes with these so-called lifestyle audits. You get two types, right? You get kind of lifestyle audits where they just check the deposits in the bank account, and then you get I want to say proper, but you get a little bit more involved lifestyle audits where they want a balance sheet also, right? In addition to looking at your bank statements. But it seems to me now that there's already basic algorithms that they are now running, or those algorithms that they used to do these estimated assessments, which is typically what you get with these lifestyle audits or additional assessments where they go and do the deposits themselves, where they're already now identifying this and doing it already at verification stage. To compare bank statements, obviously, what's in your bank account versus what was declared in your tax return, but obviously this must be done automatically because this letter came out like they normally do, but instantly. And so I can certainly see there clearly is a drive with this bank statements thing. I mean, I made a video about the VDPs and SARS being aware of deposits in bank accounts. That's a whole different video, which you can also check. But now we are seeing these bank accounts being something that SARS seems to be focusing on at a verification level, at a simple compliance basis already at a verification level. We're seeing bank statements being used now to encourage VDP, which again, like I said, I have the whole video just on that and my views on that. And I'm seeing bank statements being used in additional assessments, estimated assessments as part of lifestyle audits as well. So clearly that's what they're on about. And these ones, these bank statements disputes, some of them are complicated. But I always explain, it's not always complicated in the sense of, it's not legally complicated, it's factually intense often to reconcile the accounts and all those sorts of things. But clearly, deposits in bank account is a very hot thing. And I say that it has been a hot thing, but it's perhaps especially hot now because you really see it at verification level, and there's clearly something built into the system already to cover it at verification stage. So it's important to know.